Hey, good morning to you. I kind of started early today because I got bored for one, and two, it is really going to be an interesting show today because I forgot my glasses. So I cannot read that well. I'm partially blind, so it is really going to be interesting today how this show goes along. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm Oz. I'm Smash Bros. Radio, the only digital radio station, award winning digital radio station in Jefferson County in Birmingham. Sure I am. Smash Bros. Radio, created for the independent artist. We're here to give you a venue, to give you a showcase, to give you a platform so that way you can show what you got. That's what we do. Hey, please go like, follow, share Instagram, on YouTube, as well as Facebook. We appreciate you. Please get us out there. Also, please comment on the comments on our shows and all. Let me especially know what I can do better. And also, if you have any suggestions for future shows, I'm open. I'm open. Also, if you are and it doesn't matter if you're a politician, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a community leader, whatever, this is a stage for you. My platform is open to you, and we'll discuss exactly what you feel are the issues, concerns, and problems, and come up with solutions, hopefully. So we're here for you. I'm Oz. You can find me on practically all social medias. I am on TikTok. It's Oz 1960. I'm on Facebook. It's Oz OZZz. I am on Instagram. Oz underscore show. I'm on Twitter. Oz. Facebook, of course. Oz. And I have a YouTube page, which I would deeply appreciate if you would go and like, follow, and share for that. But hey, it is what it is. Appreciate you stopping in today. Now, let's state it is going to be a really interesting show because I can't really read per se. So, but I knew that I had to. There are two, maybe three events that are coming up that are most important. And so I knew that I had to make sure that the news, the people, the information is given out. Amy's Exquisite Gifts and Entertainment Events is presenting Black Men Create. It's a fashion contest and flash mob. It's only for men, ladies, only for men. A portion of the proceeds are donated to the Men's Project. There's a $150 adult grand cash prize. And also there are prizes for young adults and kids. It's going to be on the 28th over at the Crest Building rooftop. And if you don't, if you're downtown, if you know where the McWayne Space Center, it's categories from there. It's right across the street. It is fashion show starts at 3 to 5 p.m. and then you have the flash mob from 5 p.m. to 8. So tickets are available on Eventbrite, or you can cash out Amy Exquisite Gifts. Men, it's $45. Ladies, it's $25. 17 and under tickets are 10. And also, when you go on Eventbrite to purchase your tickets, if you type in Smash Bro, you will get a discount. So if you go on Eventbrite, you can get a discount for the show. The suit requirement is optional. Blazers and sports coats are welcome. Must have a jacket on. General admission is $20. Children under 17 is 10. All exclusive male ticket, which includes a photo as well as open bar, is 45. Ladies, you have tickets that are 25, which includes open bar, but it does not include the group photo or inclusion. So you can cash out full name, phone number, and number of tickets. If you do not receive a confirmation text, your payment was not received. And again, You can purchase the tickets on Eventbrite or Cash App. Amy Exquisite Gifts is on Crest Building, 301 19th Street North, on the rooftop, ages 5 years and up. So please, now see, this is a way of acknowledging and giving recognition to the men of the community. This is a way also that this can be as so like a family affair, because in that way the granddaddies, the daddies, and the sons and the nephews and all can all come together and dress somewhat alike or be in the same type of event together. So this is a celebration of men. This is a celebration of showing exactly what men are all about. And I think that it's time for focus to be put on the men of the community. Ladies, I'm not putting you down. You have numerous social events, numerous avenues in which you have that have been offered to you and that are accessible to you. And I think likewise when it comes to the men, they should have the same accessibility. They should have the same recognition, the acknowledgement. Uh, as I stated before, uh, it is good to know that you're not the only one going through something. And so I think that hopefully this is a start of what's to come, where it's focused more on the men, because men need to be acknowledged. Men need to know that they are appreciated and loved. Father's Day, the history of Father's Day is that fathers is always so like a second class citizen or parent. We always focus on the moms, and yes, moms are extremely important to us. Likewise, fathers too are important to us, but fathers are used to or familiar with socks and ties and any type of apparel and all. There are fathers out there that they won't tell you this, but you know your father, you know your brothers that appreciate things more than just the clothing apparel, just instead of ties and socks and stuff like that. So it's a time to bring together the celebration of men, and you have a chance. Amy Exquisite Gifts is presenting this event to highlight, to showcase the men in your family. Come out, celebrate. Please get in touch with Amy. Let her know that you're interested. And again, this can be a family affair to where all the men in the family can come together, and especially when you have a photo, to have all the men in a photo. So it's just a fantastic time. Again, you can purchase tickets on Eventbrite, and if you use Eventbrite, you get a discount if you for the discount code Smash Bros. Smash Bros. SMASHBROS. Smash Bros. You get a discount, and we hope that you do it. The proceeds, partial proceeds, would go to the Man's Project. Benny Mack is the host, and we are so excited to have Benny. Benny's fantastic. I love Benny. So please, that can be on the 28th. Give you something to do. Also, where is this? So that'll give you something to do. Oh, goodness, what have I done? See, this is why you need your glasses. October 22nd, Saturday. October 22nd, Southside Day, the Big Bessemer Way, 2823 Dartmouth Avenue, Bessemer, Alabama 3502, in the old Littleton parking lot. Please come out and celebrate. Bessemer Stop and Go. You're going to have burritos, chicken, pizza, tacos, snacks, and sodas. Southside Day 2022. the Big Bessemer Way, 2823 Dartmouth Avenue, Bessemer, Alabama, Old Littleton parking lot. So please come out. That's October 22nd. October 22nd. On Thursday, October 27th, from 6:30 to 11 p.m. Be Heard Music Conference 2022. You have panel discussions, live performances, meet record labels, get live interviews hosted by Yaz Baby. Come meet and network with other major record labels, podcasters, radio stations, producers, and BJs. That's going to be at the Workplay at 523rd Street South, Birmingham. If you want to register to perform, or if you wish to be a sponsor or to be a vendor, you contact 386-341-3218. October 22nd. The third annual Single Mom Conference and Mother's Strength is Saturday, November 12th from 3 to 6 p.m. Keynote speaker is, oh Lord, Centauria Craver. Host is Anise Cortland. So please come out. Wine and lunch is provided. Limited seating. For more information, you can contact 205-774-7302. I'm doing pretty good without my glasses. Mommy's Lounge Inspires presents the third annual Single Mom Conference and Mother's Strength. Tickets are $30. Saturday, November 12th from 3 to 6 p.m. I can see a little bit even though my head is pounding, but this too will pass. So, that's it. I've got finished with that, so I'm quite impressed. Yes, Lord. Now, we are going through some changes, folks. And it is some changes are desirable and are much needed, much required. Some changes are not as drastically required, but we're living in a situation to where pretty much our world has been turned upside down. There are no longer norms that were the past. Now, some of the norms we can bring forth and remodify, re-energize. There are some changes in which complete change is a necessity. It's time for us to start focusing on ourselves, what makes us happy. It's time for us to reestablish boundaries or to establish boundaries. Boundaries are good because once you have boundaries, then you have an understanding exactly where your place is. And as I have stated many, many times before, in my family, I was raised to know your place, stay in your place, and appreciate your place. That's how I am. I know my place. I appreciate my place. I stay in my place. Same thing as Lane. So there's no misunderstanding about what my responsibilities are. I know what my responsibilities are. I have no question about my responsibilities. I appreciate my responsibilities, and I'm not going to go outside my responsibilities. So when it comes to now, it's time to establish boundaries. It's time to establish some understanding, especially when it comes to your family. And understand that once changes are placed, boundaries are put into place, you are going to have some resistance. And that's natural. If you're not familiar with it, you're going to question it. But understand, that's not your problem. That's not your problem. That's the individual's problem. If they have a concern or a problem with these boundaries or with this new you, that's not your business. That's none of your business. That's their business. You let them handle it. And if they can't handle it, you know how to do it. You know exactly how to do it. Cut them off. Now, that may sound drastic, but you have to understand when it comes to family dynamics, in every family, you're going to have that one aunt that is going to think that she is the head hen. She's going to think that she's it. And because of the family allowing her, giving her permission to be this, you have created a monster in the bigger picture, because she isn't any more important than any other aunts in that family. So you're going to have this one aunt that is going to think that she's the head honcho. Then you're going to have this one aunt that you know is the head, that you know is the rock, that you know that is going to be the one that in the end that everyone's going to go to make those decisions. And it's not going to be the one who thinks she's it, because the individual that thinks she's it is the individual that is the most weakest in your family because of her insecurities. Let me say that again. You're going to have that one aunt that thinks that she rules things, and she's going to come in and she's just going to dictate this and she's going to dictate that. And people have allowed her to do that since infancy, that she thinks that that's her entitlement, that's her right. At the same time, there is that aunt that everyone knows is the rock, is adhesive, is the glue to the family. So we know that if something should happen to our dear, or if anything should happen to our granny or our grandmother or that matriarch, we know that this aunt is going to be the one to step up to take the place of the matriarch. And it's not going to be the one to do all this outrageous stuff. Always has an opinion. But people have allowed her, the family has allowed her to take this position. One that's the rock. Then you're going to have the one that's going to be the bougie. That she's always fashionable. She's always looking pretty. Always whatever. Then you're going to have one that just don't give a happy goddamn. And she's probably the most funnest, the most fun one in the bunch. And just like you're going to have an uncle that's going to be a little, the crazy uncle. And then you're going to have that uncle that's getting close to being a pedophile, likes to squeeze the little girls too much. But understand, he's innocent. Understand he's innocent. Really understand that he's innocent. Because back during his day, that was a norm. And he means nothing by it. They're just extremely flirtatious. Then you're going to have the one who is going to be the Renaissance man, that's going to be the suave man, that's going to know how to dress. That's a cool man, a cool uncle. You're going to have the uncle that knows how to grill, knows how to barbecue, knows how to get the family together. So it's, in most cases, the family has those boundaries. They're unspoken, but they're understood. And then there's some lackadaisiness to where people like to push the limit. So this is a time to set boundaries, to let people know that what I was in the beginning, I'm not now. I've changed. And again, you're going to have some resistance. And that's good. That's a good resistance. That means that you may need to sit down and talk with them and let them know that I have allowed you to do this. And I'm not going to be a doormat anymore. I am not going to be the one that's going to accept any bullshit from you anymore. And I'm not going to allow you to talk to me or to give me an opinion that I did not ask for anymore. Because I know how I'm supposed to be. Your life is more fucked up than mine. So until you get your life together, don't question or don't say nothing about mine. Because, see, I'm going to be all right. Now, if you cannot accept this, let the chips fall what may, because in the end, you're going to need me far quicker than I'm going to need you. And that's how it has to be. In a loving, cohesive family, people are going to understand that's how they are. There's 6 cousins. The 6 cousins were raised by 8 to 18. There were 9 aunts, 9 uncles. The meanest one, the meanest one was Annabelle. The meanest one. And she was the youngest one. When she was born, Big Daddy said that she was called a Spitfire because she came into this world with hell in her. And that's how that was the family name. That's what her brothers and sisters called her Spitfire. Annabelle was mean. Everybody was scared of Annabelle. And I foolishly challenged her and lived. She had done something, and then she says something, and I foolishly, out of just ignorance, delusional, whatever, told her, you need to quit being mean to people because you're close to meeting God. Everybody got quiet. I got scared. I was hoping that the world would just open and swallow me. And she stopped. And she was the smallest one. And she stood up. I was like, I'm gone. The five cousins stepped away from me. They abandoned me. Can you imagine that? They abandoned me to be in the wrath of this little whatever. She pointed her crooked finger at me and told me, either you're crazy or you don't know what you just did. Now, the question is, are you bold? Now, the question is, are you going to live through this? And it was a silence, the eerie, most frightening silence. I think the entire world quit evolving and everything just stopped. She said, but I like you. You have balls. Now let's see if you keep them balls. Because I stood up, I gained her respect. And that's how it is in most families. We have allowed ourselves to be treated and abused to the point to where, in all actuality, the family doesn't respect us for whatever reason. We are in a time to where it's time for us to step back and re-examine what we were, what we did, what we want to become. We cannot do the same things that we did in the past. COVID should have woken all of us up. COVID should have put some type of fear in us that we know that there are some things that need to change, that we cannot take some things for granted. Boundaries is setting is one example. It may come a time to where we have to start canning again, and that's a lost art in canning. We may have to start raising our own vegetables, which is an art, and we rarely do that anymore. But COVID should have pretty much slapped the hell out of us that we had to take a step back, catch our second wind. It's like, whoa, we have taken too much for granted because of the store shelves being empty. That should have woken some of us up. And the price of meat, poultry, produce, that should be another. I think I've seen more individuals getting to the habit of couponing. And that takes some diligence, but it works for some people. And really, if we take the time and take the energy to learn how to use the coupons, you'll be surprised at how much money you would save. It should allow us to re examine how we educate our children. And you have to keep in mind, pre COVID and post COVID has affected this younger generation more than what we think it has. There is no longer that socialization that is much needed when it comes to children being a part of the world. Now, some of the children were already sheltered as it was, and now since there's been a time to where a year, maybe 2 years, in which they were homeschooled, that has really put a damper and has pretty much uh, handicapped this younger generation. I think that the individuals that brought this point home was Coach Sanders when he mentioned that with his football players, he has to talk a certain way to certain ones. He knows, and he knows the families well enough that he knows what football player, what athlete comes from a single parent, what athlete comes from both parents, what athlete comes to whatever type of environment. Because you can't, a long time ago, you could talk, coaches could talk to the athletes any way they want to, and it was accepted. These athletes, these days, this generation, are not going to allow you to talk to them any certain way. And that's a right. I was blessed while I was teaching that my kids understood that my love, my compassion for them came from the heart. And for you to teach teenagers, for you to have the blessing of the parents and the kids, a teenager is not going to allow you to do anything unless they want you to. I could not have taught my kids unless they had trust and they were confident and they felt safe in my presence. There was no maliciousness, there was no malice, and there was no venom when I used to cuss my kids out. And cussing and fussing is interchangeable. I would cuss and fuss because they weren't meeting the expectations that I knew that they had. And I pushed. I didn't accept for anything else. And in those tenure years when I was teaching, I discovered that when you set the expectations, when you set the standards high and expect nothing and will accept nothing except those expectations, those standards, those kids are going to meet and in most cases beat that standard or expectation or goals. Huffman High School was the most diversified high school in the Birmingham City school system. Though we are labeled as an urban school system, Huffman was a suburban school. It had the largest population. It was the most diversified. You had kids that was poor all the way to kids that were upper middle class, and they worked together. They were as if one big family. The parents looked after all the kids in that school. The parents helped each other out. I was divinely blessed to have had the chance to start my tenure over at Lincoln Middle, which is right next door to Parker High School. I didn't accept less. I took my kids to see Malcolm X when it came out. I took my kids to see Glory when it came out. I took my kids down to Montgomery to see the Archives of History. I introduced as much as I could to my students because that's part of learning. When you have the ability to expand a child, a young adult's mind environment, give them another perspective, they grow, they flourish. It's a time for us to do us, to be better than what we were, to be more understanding, more compassionate, less judgmental. Just like with the event coming up on the 28th, it's a time to showcase the men. It's time to give them acknowledgement, to give them recognition. And it's a way of the men showing the ladies, their community, the world, they know how to dress. They know how to be peacocks. That's why when it comes to the dynamics of a man and a woman, when it comes to the dynamics of a family, that we have to change some of our perspectives, some of our opinions. In most cases, a man is not going to ask for help for whatever reason. That's why I think that there should be one gathering or seminar or uh, event to where you bring all the professionals together. You have the DAs, you have the judges, you have the physicians, you have uh, family court, you have all these experts coming in, and you bring these men in and you give them an understanding that we understand what you're going through. We just didn't know how to connect you to us. So we're introducing a venue, we're introducing an avenue to you so that way you would know exactly where to go. If you are a father and everything is hunky dory, and then all of a sudden you introduce a new girlfriend, a new body into the relationship, and there's some type of petty jealousy, and all of a sudden the child is being used as a pawn. Well, we have a venue for you. We have this connection down at Family Court that can give you legal advice. That's why I used to tell my boys all the time, if you know for a fact, if the girl was not a virgin when you had sex with her, you don't know whose child that is. And I know there's an understanding, and that's all well and good. The world does not work with understandings, nor do they go by word anymore. A long time ago, a person's word was his bond. There is no bond anymore. I can look you in your face and say, yes, I agree. And then you piss me off, and I'm going to say, I don't remember that. That's why when that child is born, I think that it should be a requirement that that child is given a DNA. So that way, the child, the mother, the father, the prospective father would know exactly who the child belongs to. I think that once that child has been given a DNA and the father is recognized that this is your child, well, then there should be some understanding and something in black and white that this is your responsibility. You to help her out. And I think that after 4 or 5 children and all, I think the father should be castrated or have a vasectomy, because if that father is not, or that if that sperm donor is not taking care of his children, but yet he's still producing, I think something should be done to him. That may sound radical, but I think something should be done for them. Why should I have to take the responsibility of feeding and raising your children? And see, that's another thing that should change. Social services should be changed. When Social Security was first created, it was created as to a supplement to an individual's retirement. It wasn't supposed to be the primary check. It's supposed to be the secondary check, which is connected again to the world of business. You don't have that loyalty or that devotion between a worker and an employee. I mean, a worker, an employee, and the employer. You could retire after 40 years. Nowadays, the individuals have become so rotten and so venomous that they will wait for an individual the day before an individual can retire, that they all of a sudden fire them so that way they won't get the pension. And I think that should be changed too. So see, everything is interconnected, and changes have to occur. So if you're a father of a child, for your safety, for the mother's safety, and for the benefit of the child, you should automatically have a DNA performed, even though you know it's your child. Doesn't matter. It's just for safety reasons. And if by chance you are the father, we're good. But know your responsibility. I think that when it comes to welfare, that should be changed too. I really have a problem after I've gone through school. And understand, I chose to go to school. I chose to be a teacher. I chose this. I knew that my ass was not going to make that much money. The fact is, I've worked hard for what little I have, and then I see this individual that has not worked, period, and you have 3 goddamn buggies full of food. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with an individual that has not worked, nor have they paid their dues, but yet they're living off of me and other taxpayers to feed their children that they don't even know who the daddy is. And they have like 4, 5, 6 children. And I would wager that out of those 4, 5, 6 children, that 4, maybe 5 are different fathers. There's no sense in that. I find it disgusting. I find it unacceptable. I think the cycle should be broke. If you're on welfare, you should have some type of services that are provided to you so that way you can earn some type of employment, and that your children do have daycare while you're in this program. And while you're in this program, you continue. But if you do not follow the guidelines nor the qualifications, then you're taken off of welfare. It is what it is. And then for those of you who have, section 9, I don't understand all the benefits that you get, and yet you have this lazy ass punk staying. And ladies, you should have learned a long time ago, with all the things that have happened or have transpired, you do not allow a man to come in, especially if you have daughters. You do not allow a stranger to babysit your children. So I have a problem seeing 3 buggies full of groceries. I don't see any canned goods. I don't see any vegetables. I don't see any produce. I don't understand this thing about seafood. I don't understand. And then when you have the middle class, we can't get shit because we make $1,000 more. But yet we're still struggling because we have mortgages to pay. We have kids that are in school. We have utilities to pay. But yet you have this individual that hasn't done jack squat except laying on her back, producing these children with this good for nothing man, and then they have 3 and 4 buggies. I have a problem with that. You do you don't deserve that. And then, from what I understand, and I hope somebody would tell me if this is correct, what I understand, you have a certain allotment or amount that you have for utilities, and if you don't spend all of that, you get to keep it. No! If your utilities are a certain point, then what you have, what the supplement that you have left over should be put back into the system. And if you are the father of a child and you do not do what you're supposed to, I think you somehow or another they should arrange it so that way your wages are deducted. And if you don't work, yeah, should be. I mean, you're not working, so put his ass in jail. And you say, well, he can't pay his child support if he's in jail. Hell, he ain't paying child support now. And then if you look at it, shit, taxpayers are paying for his ass to be in jail. So this is a vicious cycle that's going on. Corvus should have woke us up, folks. Corvus should have put the sparks in us. There's so much that needs to be changed, and it can be changed. Education needs to be revamped. We should have taught that. Some kids can learn independently. Some can. Some don't have a problem being taught independently. Some probably flourish being taught independently. But I think that if a child, and then too, when it comes to technology, with the way technology, if you could have a teacher in Birmingham teaching kids that are in South Alabama, I mean, like in Wilcox County, on this screen. That's how they teach in college. University of Alabama can have over 1,500 students in an auditorium, and this professor's on this huge screen across campus in the studio. You can still do that. And then, you know, what really tickled me the most was when this white parent was on, and I use that word, white parent, was on the news, was saying that, well, my child don't know how to read, and she's out of school. Bitch, aren't you teaching your child how to read? That's negligence on your part. If your child don't know how to read, you're negligent. You're an unfit parent. I was taught how to read before I went to school. I was taught how to write my name, the different colors, the numbers, before I went to school. And you have the audacity to get on the news and say, well, my child don't know how to read. She has difficulty reading because she's not in school. That's your fault that your child don't know how to read. And see, that's another problem with education. You cannot put everything on a teacher to take care. Teachers cannot handle society. It's not for teachers to handle societal problems or issues. We got enough to deal with as it is. These technology should have been utilized a long time before now. There should never have been snow days, because if there's bad weather, well, then you automatically let the parents know. And see, that's where broadband Wi-Fi comes in connection too. There is no reason why every household cannot have broadband, cannot have Wi-Fi, cannot be connected to the internet. There's no reason. No reason at all. Wi-Fi, internet accessibility should be there for everyone, just like insurance, healthcare. There's so much that this society needs to change because we're living back in the 18th and in most cases 17th centuries. There's no reason why the medicines here in the United States is higher than the medicines in Canada, where you have the same pharmaceutical companies doing the same medicines. The only difference is because you have lobbyists that have been allowed to go out of their lanes. You need to reel them in. You need to have some type of cap when it comes to medicine. So, see, you have all these changes. That's why it's time for you to start looking at you, doing for you, making yourself better, making sure that you're keeping yourself as healthy as possible. The last Wednesday in November, right after Thanksgiving, I go in for my last oral surgery because I was negligent, because I did not utilize my dental insurance the way I should have. So now I've undergone two oral surgeries because I've gone past gingivitis to where I have periodontal disease, which cannot be cured. I just have to maintain it. I have to maintenance it now. So what they had to do was go in. They had to slice the gums open. They had to clean the disease and the poison out because I was losing jawbone because of being negligent. And so the first surgery was done 2 years ago. When I go back for the appointment, she's going to find out how much bone has been generated, because once the gums were opened and cleaned, they had to saw down some of the jawbone so that way it was easier for them to clean and for me to maintain. Then they packed it and then they sewed it up. And so now at the next visit, she's going to find out after 2 years how much jaw has been generated. I think it was last month I had the bottom left done, which was more intensive because they had to really saw. They did the same thing. They opened the gum. They sawed down the what little jawbone I had to make it level, and then they packed it. And so when I go in for the last time, the last Wednesday in November, it's more extensive because of the way that the jawbone is. So they're really going to have, and they're going to try to save the tooth, which means they're going to have to saw the bone down because there's much more gaps in. So they're going to have to saw the bone down, and then they're going to pack it. So see, that's why it's most paramount. It is most important. It is most vital in your life that you take care of yourself, and especially when it comes to your children, when it comes to the eyes, when it comes to the teeth, when it comes to the overall health. This is the time to understand exactly what changes are going to have to occur for us to be better at what we do. And now it is more, from what I understand, is more affordable. Some dentists will have you can pay as you go. So that way they look after your children's mouth. But your mouth, your eyes are most important. Everything is connected. That's why it is important for us to change the way that we cook. We change our diet. Hypertension. Is most important. Diabetes. All of it can be taken care of if we're being more focused, being more vigilant when it comes to our health, especially when it comes to our children. And if you know that hypertension and diabetes runs in your family, well, then you need to start now monitoring how you feed your children. Hypertension was in my granddaddy. So I knew back then I need to cut back on salt. And I did. I don't have it. I'm predestined, whatever that word means. But I don't have high blood pressure. I just have the lowest dose because it's heredity. Diabetes. I have to watch how I cook and eat. So, see, this is a time for us to do us, to make those changes that are necessity, to make those changes that are going to be beneficial for us to live longer. So that way we can aggravate the hell out of everybody. You ain't got time to die. Shoot, there's people out there that you want to aggravate. And this is the time for you to do it. Get out there, walk. You don't have to walk a mile. Walk around, walk in your yard. Walk from one block to the other, and then come back. Just put some type of exercise in your life. But it's time for us to do us. It's time for us to be better than what we are. It's time for us to set those boundaries. Those are good things that are going to benefit us as individuals. Now, again, as I stated before, yes, you're going to have resistance, but once the individuals understand that it has nothing to do with them, it has to do with you, then they're going to come around. Now, you might have some people who won't. That's not your problem. That's their problem. They're missing out. You're not missing out. It's time for you to put a stop to the abuse. It's time for you to stop allowing people to say and to do whatever they want to. It's time for you to tell people that I'm not going to do it. Don't want to do it. Well, why? I don't want to do it. Well, why? I don't want to do it. Well, you have to have a reason. No, I don't. I just don't want to do it. Next. And why don't you do it? Well, I ain't got time. Well, what's your point? Once we start changing for the better for us, we're not changing for anybody else. We're making those changes for us. We're trying to make us better. We're trying to get a better understanding of us. That's what we do. The change isn't for anybody else. The change is for us. It's for us to feel better. It's for us to love ourselves better. And you have to love yourself. You got to. You cannot love anybody else unless you love yourself. And you're the only one, including your mom. Your mama cannot love you the way that you want to be loved. Your mama cannot take care of you the way that you want to be taken care of. They're giving you the foundation. They're giving you an understanding. But you have modified that so that way it fits you. It's time for the change. And we have got to quit being scared of the change. Because change is good. Change is good. So what you going to do? What you going to do? It's all that. See, you have allowed so much power, or you have given away so much power. You need to take the power back without any type of misunderstanding or any type of what's the word? Guilt. There's no guilt. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the betterment of yourself. And there shouldn't be any guilt. If you look at the individuals in your family, they're looking after themselves because they know that, well, we can always go here and she's going to do it. Well, you stop it. Your life isn't any more busier than those individuals. And in most cases, your life is probably more busier than the individuals because they don't want the responsibility. But yet, when you take on the responsibility, oh, they have the opinion. Well, you should have done this and you should have done that. My main thing is, bitch, you should have done it yourself, because I'm not going to allow you to tell me how I'm supposed to do it. If you want to do it your way, you do it your way. This is my way. Don't say nothing to me because I don't want to hear it. I don't care about you being the oldest. I don't care about you being the most educated. I don't care, period. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it my way. And if I make a mistake, I'll make a mistake. And if I need some type of advice, I might come to you, and I might not, because technically, really, I don't like you. Never have liked you. You've just been a speck of irritation to the family. Nobody won't tell you that, but you can't cook. That's how come nobody wants to eat your damn cooking, because you can't cook, but yet you're the biggest one in the whole goddamn family. What's up? You have to shock these motherfuckers. I have no problem telling folks. I have no problem. When somebody brings a new individual that may be a prospective spouse, I sit down with them and I let them know, listen, do you have any ugly people in your family? Because we don't need any more ugly folks in this family. We have enough. We have more than enough. We got too many ugly folks. So do you have any ugly people in your family? Because if you do, I don't think I can allow you to come in this family. I need to see pictures. How does your mama look? How does your daddy look? How does your aunts and uncles look? I may need to even see your cousins. I don't have a problem. I have no problem in telling somebody, I never liked you. The only reason why people put up with you is because your Uncle Charlie's wife, everybody knows that you married him because he had money. And now you got that ugly child that we know isn't Uncle Charlie's. So don't come this way or I'll blast you. That's how you have. Let me tell you, it beats therapy, folks. It is so much fun to see these people shocked that you have the audacity. Yes, I have no class. I'm a heathen. You can't do nothing to me? I didn't marry in the family. I was born in the family. And that's a huge difference, folks. I was born a Humes. I didn't marry into a Humes. Understand that. Let me say that one more time. I was born in the family. I did not marry into the family. So don't come for me. Don't come for me. I ain't the one. I'm going to do me by the way that I want to do me, and I'm going to be the benefit and beneficial of me. I'm going to love me. I'm going to understand me. I'm going to accept my insecurities, and I'm going to work on those insecurities that I control the insecurities, and the insecurities don't control me. And if you have a problem with that, well, then you can take your ass on out there, because I am never going to miss you. Trust me when I tell you, I'm not going to miss you. I'll probably be glad that you're no longer in my sight. But you got to do for you, folks. You got to do for you. You got to take the responsibility. You got to take the power back, and you got to demand that this is how it's going to be from now on. I'm not going to answer a question unless I want to. And I'm not going to explain myself unless I want to. I don't want to hear this question. Why? Why what? Well, why are you like that? Why what? But it's time for you to do you. It's time for you to be the best that you can be. Because when it comes to being the best that you can be, that best is going to transcend, so that way it's going to affect the family in a positive way. When you love yourself, it's going to transcend. It's going to spread out, expand to everybody, because you love you. You have no time for any doubts. You have no time for what ifs. There are no what ifs. There are no what ifs. What the decision that you made then was the decision that you were supposed to make then. Now, when you are presented with that same issue, that same problem, that same concern, well, you've experienced it, and you've learned from that experience, and you have a better understanding, so that way you can make the best decision. They'll know what ifs. What you did back then was what you were supposed to do back then. Don't question what you did back then. Learn from what you've done to be better for what you are now. And you can do it. You survived all these years with that little nasty ass aunt, that little drunk uncle, with them little stupid ass cousins. You look at you survived. Now it's time for you to show them who you are. Put them in their place. Put them in their place. I promise you, initially you're going to have some resistance. And you understand that. In the end, the resistance are no longer going to be there. And if the relationship is supposed to be, the relationship is going to be better than what it was, because then everybody understands exactly what their place is. There's certain cousins and certain aunts and certain uncles that you feel more comfortable with, and you value their opinion. But when other folks see what those favorites are doing, then they automatically assume, well, I can do. No, hell, you can't. I don't like you. You're just family. And plus two, bitch, you married in the family. I don't really have to like you because I never liked your child. I'm being honest. I mean, it is, you don't have to go through therapy. It's time for you to take up for yourself. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. And you can do it. Trust me. Let me tell you, the first go around, the first round, you're going to feel so guilty, and you're going to say, should I have said? Yes, you should have, and you shouldn't feel guilty. But they're going to come back for the second round because they think that, oh, well, that's just what's on the spur of the moment. The second time is going to be easier. And you're not going to feel guilty because then you're going to understand, oh, so you didn't believe what I said. Oh, so, okay, that's cool. Well, I'm going to make you believe me today. But you can do it. It's time for you to do you. It's time for you to set boundaries. It's time for you to set out on your own and do you. If you want a bar, get you a damn bar. If that was your dream to have a bar, you get you a bar. If you want to do whatever, you get whatever you want. If not you, who? And you don't have time for naysayers. You don't have time for people to say, well, I don't care what you believe. Get him back. Not today, Satan. Get him back of me, Satan. I got this. Love you. Adore you. Take care of you. Understand who you are. Understand your relationship when it comes to the dynamics of your family. Where do you stand in your family? What is your position in your family? I'm the eldest. I'm the eldest of the grandchildren. There's certain requirements, there's certain expectations that as the eldest of the grandchildren, I was expected to do. And again, I know my place. I stay in my place. I accept my place. And you can do the same thing too. You can do. And if you can't step out automatically, just do it inch by inch. But I'm telling you that once you step out and you go full force, babies, the dynamics are going to change, and you're going to see that everybody's acting differently in a better way and a more durable way, and you're going to enjoy being around your family because everybody understands exactly where you are and where they are with you in the family. I don't allow folks to say anything to me in the family. I'm not going to. I'm not going to allow it. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Not going to do it. And plus, two, I don't like everybody in my family. I'm being being honest, I don't like everybody in the family. I don't. Never have. Never will. Don't give a happy goddamn. Oh, did they pass away? Well, damn good. Okay. Because see, my main thing is, if I didn't like you while you're living, how in the hell am I going to like you when you're dead? Do you understand? If I didn't like you while you're living, I sure as hell not going to like you when you're dead. I'd probably be joyful and happy that your ass is gone. I'm being honest. If I don't like you, I'm not going to speak to you. And I wasn't raised like that. I was raised that you're supposed to speak to everybody. I don't speak to everybody. If I don't like you, I'm not going to speak to you. I'm going to acknowledge you, and then I'm going about my business. I'm not. Last time I went, a long time ago, when I went home, I came in and spoke, got everybody scared. Cousins went to the kitchen, asked, "What's wrong?" I said, "There's nothing wrong." They said, "Oh, there's something wrong. You got everybody up front scared." I said, "I haven't done anything. What's wrong?" They said, "Fool, you came in speaking." I said, "I didn't speak to nobody." They said, "You don't even know what you've done." I said, "What did I do?" They said, "You came in and said, hi is everybody?" And you went straight up. I said, "What?" They said, "Yeah." And because that was my routine. I will come straight to the, because my cousins would meet me in the kitchen. The elders would be in the back. Nobody would be in the front. Anybody in the front, I mean, they're not worth talking to. So I would come home, go up the stairs, go to my room, wash up, then take the back stairs to the kitchen, and my cousins, whoever was in the house, would be waiting for me. But this time I must have said, "Hi is everybody," scared everybody to death. My cousins was asking what was wrong with me. And there was nothing wrong with me. I don't know why I spoke. And so, they said some people left. I said, well, good. They should have never been here anyway. They knew my ass was coming home. And the ones that was there were too scared to move. I said, well, that's not my problem. I said, do I need to go in there? They said, no. I said, why not? They said they probably have a heart attack. I said, well, that's good. There's too many of us in there anyway. I don't see what I said was wrong. Again, if I don't like you while you're living, I'm not going to like you while you're dead. I don't care about your death. I may celebrate because of your death. It is what it is. I'm not sorry for, and I'm not going to apologize. That's how come I don't need my therapist as much as I used to. If I hurt your feelings, I don't care. If you're not relevant, if you're not significant in my life, I don't care about you. I'm an introvert. Believe that shit or not, I'm an introvert. I don't like majority of the humans. And I think most humans should die and go to hell. There are very few individuals that I have respect when it comes to their opinions. Very few. Very few. I will accept their opinions because I value their friendship. I value their opinions. Very few. Everybody can't give me an opinion because you're not relevant and you're not significant in my life and you're not adding anything to my life. And that's how you have to be sometimes. Set the boundaries. Let people know exactly where you stand and where they stand in your life. It's time for you to do you, be you, love you. And don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. I appreciate you stopping in. Again, I'm OZZz on Smash Bros. Radio, the only digital award-winning station in Birmingham. Also, if you are an independent artist or if you're a manager of an independent artist and you would like to come on, there's 2 shows on Saturdays. You have the, oh Lord, I can't think of the name. There are 2 shows on Saturdays. One is a Smash House, and the other one Oh, goodness. You can send in your tapes to them, but they're on Saturday. So if you are an artist, if you are a promoter or a manager of an artist and you would like to come on Smash Bros Radio, look us up. We're on Facebook. Contact us, and you can be on the show. My show is mostly community based, so I rarely have artists on my show. But there are shows that have artists. Ralph Mobley, who is the owner and creator of Smash Bros Radio. Him and his brother OT are well connected when it comes to the music scene here in Birmingham. And you can come on Ralph's show, The Smash House, and he will interview you, and he will also showcase you. So we're open to independent artists. I'm open to the community. My platform is here for you. If you would like to advertise, you can contact me on OZZz, my page OZZz, or you can call into Smash Bros Radio and talk to a market department, and they'll contact you back. Or if you wish to advertise and sponsor my show, contact me on OZZz. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care of yourselves. It's Friday. It's time to get naked and freaky. Doesn't mean necessarily you have to wait till Friday, but hey, I like Fridays. Y'all take care of yourselves. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you are the only obstacle in your life. And most importantly, know that I love you more than I love my luggage. I'll see you Monday. Y'all be careful out there. The live stream on the show. On the show. The live stream. On the show. On the show. On the show. The live stream. The live stream on the